Hi everyone, I'm Alex Shin and I would like to welcome you all to 60 Days of Quitting Your Old Life, which is very exciting. I can't believe we're actually finally doing this. So I guess first let's talk about what quitting your old life really is, what it means, and why that's the terminology I've decided to go with. I think a lot of us probably think that we're pretty good at quitting things. We've probably quit on ourselves a lot, but this is a program for people who are tired of their own BS, who are tired of living in the same patterns of their life over and over again, and are ready to live a life that they absolutely love. I feel like I'm an authority on this because 3 years ago, I was probably in the darkest place I had ever been. And so I decided it was time to take back control of that. Even though I was in such a dark place and I was having a really hard time doing anything but watching Love Island UK and playing the Property Brothers game on my phone, I started making slow but sure changes over the last 3 years that have led me to living a life that I love and being a more confident, whole version of myself. I went from self-loathing to a place where I truly, genuinely love who I am, the life I've created, and how my life is going on a day-to-day basis. So I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited to start this with you. And this video is going to cover the first 7 days of our program. So feel free to save this, bookmark this, and come back to it day after day so that you can go through each of the prompts together. Now, please know that if any of this isn't going to work for you, if there are parts of this program that are not healthy for you to participate in, please feel free to skip over them. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And I want to make sure that you're doing whatever is most important for you and most pertinent to your journey. So remember, this is all suggestion based on things that I have done over the last 3 years that I've put into this program that hopefully help you to be able to reflect on who you are more and who you want to be. So with that, I would tell you to grab your Quitting My Old Life workbook or journal from our website, or grab a journal that you have now. You can buy a sticker from us too to slap it on there, and let's make this your specific Quitting My Old Life journal. Let this be your guide for the next 60 days as we go through this together. Let's start with day 1. Day 1 is all about taking inventory. What we're going to be doing today is we are going to catalog what a day in our life looks like. So I would actually do this over several days so that you get a more well-rounded view of what your week looks like. For me, I know I go to Pilates on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, but it's important for me to track what activities I do on Tuesday and Thursday and on the weekends as well. So you can do this for as long as you want, but I would write down every single thing you do in a day. What time you wake up, what time you go to bed, what your post-wake up and pre-bedtime routine looks like, what you're eating, your exercise routine. If that's something that's healthy for you to track, I would track what podcasts you're listening to, TV shows you're watching, etc. So try to keep track of everything, because what we're really going to be looking for here ultimately in the subsequent days is what things are bringing you joy, what things are exhausting you, what are things that are maybe affecting your mental health that you don't realize. So go ahead and write down in as much specifics as possible every single thing you're doing today. Now again, this is just day 1's assignment, but I would do this for a couple days if you can, and then you can move on to part 2 and day 2. Let's go there next. So day 2 is all about analysis. We are going to take however many days of writing down your routine that you did, and we are going to really analyze the things that we loved, that we didn't love, what are things that we didn't love that we can't eliminate, that maybe we can find a way to make better as we continue to have to do them. We also have things that maybe you loved that aren't a part of your routine. Did you take a different workout class than usual that you really loved and now you would love to add it to your routine? Is there a new podcast that you tried or a podcast that you want to get rid of in your life? We're going to analyze the things that you did over the last couple days. So what I would do is I would take that list and I would either make 2 columns and I would write down all the things I loved in one and all the things I didn't love in another. Or if that's too much for you, just take the list of things you did in a day, put a smiley face and a frowny face, or give it a letter grade, and then divide it up from there. Whatever is gonna work best for you. Those options are available for you in the workbook that you can snag from me as well, and you can go through those. And today is just about analyzing what do we like and what do we not like. Now come back for day 3, where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into all of those things. All right, now day 3 is all about our current habits and patterns. Whether you realize it or not, your actions every single day are powered by your habits. Think about it like this. If your alarm is set on your phone, and to turn off your alarm, you're picking up your phone every morning, your brain knows when you pick up that phone that you're gonna play with it, right? That's how a lot of us end up on our phones first thing in the morning, which is a horrible habit I personally am also working to break. But habits really integrate into our lives and power every single day. So we're gonna look at what are the things over the last week that we've been tracking, the things that we liked and didn't like that are powering us currently. Is the habit that you don't pack your lunch and then you go out to eat every day? Then when you go out to eat, you're not making the most healthy decisions that you can, because A, you don't necessarily know what's in that food, right? If somebody else is preparing it. And B, sometimes it's just really hard to say no to a French fry, right? So we're gonna evaluate what the habits and patterns in our lives are and see what is powering us day to day. So look through the things that you've done in the last week, analyze what is a habit that I'm doing, what are patterns that I'm seeing in my life, and we're gonna look at those a little bit later on. All right, so our first 3 days were about figuring out who we are currently, and now the next couple days are gonna be all about who we want to be moving forward. So day 4, this is one of my favorite assignments. We are going to make a list of 100 things that we want our future self to be, to have, to do, all of those things, all right? So I want you to dream big and just make a list of 100 things that you want for future you in your best, most ideal life, okay? And you're gonna dream big. Really, really big. This isn't a time to limit yourself and think about what is rational and could happen, that I have the connections to make happen already. No, this is about dreaming big and living the life of your dreams. It's gonna stump you. When I did it myself a couple weeks ago, I actually got stuck at number like 80. I left and I came back to it and was able to finish it later. So that's day 4's exercise, and day 5 is gonna have to do with this list too. So let's talk about what we're gonna do on day 5. All right, day 5. Now that you have your list of 100 things, or however many you were able to get to before you were like, Alex, I just have to figure out what's next because I can't come up with 100 things. Well, I'm gonna bet that you were limiting yourself. I'm gonna bet that there are things that right before you were about to write them down, you said to yourself, I can't do that. That's impossible. That could never, would never happen. Again, this list of 100 things is not the list of realistic things that are going to happen in your life. This is your dream life. This is the dream future you. But if in your subconscious you don't have those things kind of written out for yourself, you're not telling yourself to work towards those things, right? You're already telling yourself that you are limited and you won't be able to achieve those things. So get rid of the I can't, that could never things going on in your head, and go ahead and finish that list or add on to that list of 100 things and add the wildest, craziest things you can imagine. Podcasts you want to be on, cars you want to own, bags you want to own, businesses you want to run, number of employees you want to have, followers you want to have, whatever those goals are, go ahead and really write down things that you don't even at this moment think are possible and you feel silly writing down. Trust me, it's really amazing what the power of writing these things down and subconsciously manifesting them can do. So go ahead and write that down now. Okay, now day 6, this is the day that we compare habits. So On days 1 through 3, you went through who you are currently and the habits and patterns in your life that are powering you through every day. Then on days 4 and 5, we looked to our future self and the things that we want for that version of us. Now we are going to compare the habits of current us to the habits that we think future us would have. So think about the number of days a week you work out currently versus what you want to be doing, what kind of exercises you want to be doing, what kind of things you want to be eating and powering your body with, the kind of books you want to be reading, the amount of time you spend on social media. What are the habits that current you has that future you maybe doesn't have? Or what are the habits that future you is going to have that current you doesn't? We're going to make a list comparing each of those on either side, and then we're going to come back and do a little R&R for day 7. All right, it is day 7, the end of week 1 of quitting your old life, and today is the day that we do a little bit of R&R. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take some time for yourself. I'd recommend at least an hour, and do something to treat yourself a little bit. Go buy your favorite coffee at a local coffee shop. I personally spent my day 7 at a local infrared sauna studio. I get my best journaling done there. I love it. Shout out to Aura Sauna in the Strip District in Pittsburgh. But I would recommend taking about an hour, and you are going to journal through a day in future you's life. Are you waking up with the sun? Are you sleeping in a little bit? Are you having a green juice, a smoothie? Are you going straight to a workout? Get in as much detail as possible. Like, what car are you driving to that workout? What are the ingredients in that smoothie, or how does it taste? Think about all of those things really, really in depth, as granular as possible, and really spend a lot of time meditating and journaling through that. That is your day 7 assignment. You are done with week 1 of quitting your old life. Week 2 is on deck. You are ready to rock and roll. I'll post that in just a couple days, but for now, go ahead and work through week 1, enjoy all the exercises, and I will see you back here for week 2 of quitting your old life soon. And don't forget to follow me on all of my social platforms at Alex Shin Blogs on Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe. There's lots of good stuff that goes on each of those platforms. Talk to you soon.